Oh, hello everybody. I'm in Madrid in Spain. And yeah, let's quickly talk about spending and saving. That's a thing. I would say that half of the population can deal with it very well, and the other half can't. So they spend too much. And it's actually possible when you have a normal income to save something. And I think a good formula is to get it done is one third should be for rent, one third for saving, and one third for anything else. And I know some people that spend much more than a third for a rent because they live too lavishly in a too large home and they have too much of a mortgage, and it's a burden. It's you have to understand that interest works against you when you are in debt. The compounding is a machine. It's like a weapon. It's a very scary thing, and sometimes it can go out of control. And over years, you build up a lot of more debt and more scary things. And yeah, you should be very careful with that thing. And most people underestimate the risk of that. And I mean, the worst thing is consumer debt, debt for new phones and vacations and stuff like that, and new kitchen, all on that kind of consumerism. That's the worst enemy, and you should really stay ridiculously away from it. A mortgage, it's kind of secured because of your house, but we have seen in America there was this terrible bubble, real estate bubble. It was like 8, 9 years ago, before the financial crisis happened. There was this huge euphoria. Everyone wanted to have a larger home and all leveraged up. People could get 100% financing, and that's just crazy. You should never do that. I think a good formula is you should have at least 20% equity to buy a house or home, an apartment. Without having 20%, you should not do it. It's too risky. You lose your job, you get sick, you get in a divorce. A lot of things can happen, and then you lose everything. So if again coming back to the formula, it's a third for rent, for living, or for a mortgage, a third for saving, and a third for the rest. If you follow that rule, I think you will do fantastic. And the other half of the population, they that live too lavish, or also they don't save because they have a bad job or they don't have the education, and it's difficult to help them out, but they just should also work on it. I think a third is a good formula to secure your future. And you should think about the life expectations. We get all older, and retirement systems don't work that well anymore. The government does cannot pay you your retirement because of aging population. There's not so much money left because we have so many retired people. And in America, I think a professor told me in an interview, Maya Startman, he told me he's a finance professor at Santa Clara University. He told me that in America, the Social Security, so the government retirement system covers roughly 40% of your income, kind of your last income. And that is not enough. I mean, maybe when we get older, we spend less, but as a rule of thumb, I think we need more. So you really should do the formula. What I said, a third, a third, a third. That means a third of your income you should try at least to save. If it's 10%, 20%, it's possible to build up even that way a cushion. But a third would be much better. I think it's the perfect formula, and it takes so much anxiety away. Anxiety and money is one of the biggest anxieties in our society is money problems. And if you solve it from early on, if you have a plan, you can get rid of one really big trouble a lot of people have. It's the money problem. It's one of the worst. I think it's the number one anxiety problem in our society, far ahead of things like health and so on. It's money, and a lot of relationships go down. They break. People break up because of money issues, and competing with your neighbor and your friends in terms of great cars, great homes, great Apple computers, and so on. And it shouldn't be that way. It's not necessary. if you focus on being careful, you should careful with spending. You should just you should value. You should take care of your income. You should really honor the dollars you make, the euros you make. You can't just go on a spending spree and think there will be no follow-up costs related to it. So it just comes all back, I think, to that magic formula. Okay, that's all for today, and I show you maybe some windows here of Madrid you can see, but it's too sunny, you can't really tell. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.